glasses and this. I'm in denial about glasses, so I hide them all over the apartment. So when I put them on, you see nothing on my face, right? Right, so before we start, I have to give you some very serious Hollywood direction. Are you ready for your very serious Hollywood direction? I'm going to teach you how to use scissors, because people see a package and see scissors and they do this. And I go, what are you doing? And I open it and I'm like, no, you want to kind of cut it from the side like this nicely, so that you don't have to cut the center. And you don't want to cut the labels, because after you leave, we have to catalog these items. And so I don't need to know the label, where it came from and all that. And speaking of labels, you don't want to read the label and go, oh, this came from Bob Smith of 1313 Mockingbird Lane, because Bob Smith may not want Abigail to know where he lives. And 1313 Mockingbird Lane is the address of. He's cute, he looked right at you. He's like, she knows. And she's like, I don't know. And Abigail doesn't know because she didn't grow up with a TV that much. It's the Munsters address. Now, I thought it was the Addams Family for a whole year. I mean, it's you're opening a box. It's not rocket science. Who cares? So I kept telling people, the Addams Family. And then a year later, I thought, am I giving people fake news? Maybe it's not the Addams Family. So I looked at it, I said, for a whole year, I was wrong. It's not the Addams Family address. Well, why do I remember that address? Why does it ring a bell? So I looked it up. I'm like, oh my God, it's the Munsters. Oops. Small. So what's the Addams Family address? So I looked them up. That's 13 Cemetery Lane. I was like, oh no. So the Addams Family and the Munsters started sending me nasty emails because their mail got mixed up. If you believe that, I got a bridge to sell you in Brooklyn. So now I got to make sure people get it right. So 1313 Mockingbird Lane is the address of the Munsters. Good. And 1313 Cemetery Lane is the address of. Excellent. Good. Now I won't get nasty emails from them, because you don't want to piss off Uncle Fester. That can get ugly. And Lurch, he was a big guy. Yeah, you don't want to mess him. Okay. So the next thing I have to add is, oh yes, when I say, hi, I'm Denny Daniel, I'm here with, you can just say your first name. So Josh. And Lauren. Excellent. You don't have to give me your bank account numbers and your social security numbers. But if you do decide to tell me those things, can you tell me first before Abigail? So I can clean out your bank account before she does, because you can tell she's the, thief. And the next thing I have to add is for the Hollywood divas. Sometimes I get these people from LA. So do you guys need hair and makeup or the craft food truck? Because those SAG rules, so the truck comes in tomorrow at 4, so you'd have to wait till tomorrow at 4. So are you okay with your hair and the makeup? And do you need the craft food truck with the cookies?
We already had it done earlier.
You did. I should have known. She's good. She's good.
I was warned.
Boof with the makeup and they're all done. Okay, so is everyone ready? Excellent, good. So I do this like a 42nd Street shell game, which I'm born and raised, and I remember the 42nd Street shell games and Sugar Sheet, where a guy showed up with a little table and he had 3 shells and he put a quarter under one of the shells and mixed them up, and you had to guess which one had the quarter and you'd win something. The only difference here is you don't have 3 shells. There isn't a quarter under any of my packages and you win nothing. So ethically, it's just like a shell game. But there is one similarity. I am going to mix up the packages. So here is me mixing up the packages. Are you guys confused? Yes?
Yep.
Yes.
Good, because otherwise I would have to do this all day long and you would never get home. Okay, so each one of you gets to pick a package, any package. So go ahead, pick a package. He's so cute, he looked right at you. He's like, you first. And go ahead, chivalry is not dead. Excellent, and there are your scuffles. Just make sure not to cut each other. Or me, or the cat, or Abigail. But if you do decide to cut each other, or the cat, or me, or Abigail, I do have Civil War surgical tools in the kitchen that I can use on you. And remember, don't worry about silly details like, anesthesia or sterilization.
You're definitely saying that's the right person.
What do you do?
Nothing related to that.
I was like, nurse? I know that one. I tried a little cutting. I'm like, oh God, that one's
Oh, you need the scissors again.
Yeah, you snip the side. Looks like a stereo slime. Looks like a 3D slime. I'm not sure. That definitely is films.
Oh.
I can tell. Okay. I always hear the Mission Impossible theme whenever. Dun, 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 dun. I'm going to plug this in, lest it die on me. Where's the plug? It's a small one.
More snipping.
Okay, so you opened up films,
Ooh.
and let's see what films Lauren opened up. No. Oh, this is Hector Heathcote, which is an old cartoon.
Oh.
And this one is kind of a funky, silly one that has like a history side to it. So that's why I got this one. Oh, let me think. Philadelphia. This one is History of Philadelphia.
Oh.
That's why I got it, because I do Philadelphia a lot. I was like, I had to remember, the guy didn't write the title. Yeah, this is a history of Philadelphia. So this is a 16 millimeter film we're going to play for our speakeasy. And this one is Snub Pollard and another famous guy, Clyde. I forget his last name. But Snub Pollard did these great spoof films. He was a lot of fun. So this is another classic early film. So these are Holy Grail items for the museum that we're going to play for our Philly shows. And what did you open? That's cheap.
Oh,
I'll cheat with you.
this is that 3D picture type thing.
Oh, let me see it. Oh, perfect. This is for the Boston show. So that is Abigail?
Yes. Oh, that's
Old-
Old South Church.
Old South Church. Okay, I was like, it's either North Church or South. So this is when it still had moss on it, which nobody remembers. Did you know it had moss originally?
No.
No. So this is for my History of Boston in 3D show. History of Massachusetts in 3D.
Oh.
Awesome.
So,
Oh.
but not awesome, interesting. He had it right up until now.
Interesting.
So isn't that a beautiful shot?
I actually
know.
live in Boston.
Wow.
So.
Oh, that's right. You
I
said
just
it,
moved
yeah.
You do now?
Really?
Yeah.
So you
I
know
live in
this?
Cambridge now. Yeah.
Oh,
she
that's so
loves-
funny. I used to live in Cambridge. Now I live in Waltham.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So that's cool. So you know this. You know Old South Church.
Mhm.
And it doesn't look like that
It
anymore.
does not. That's why I'm recognizing.
Yeah, that's Old South Church. How cool is that?
Yeah, that
So-
and it's beautiful condition. That looks like.
Yeah, this is these things were like colorized, this one, because there wasn't color photography this far back. So they colorized them. But this is going to be a huge star of our next show. This is the first one from Boston. Soon I'm going to be doing it. I do a history of New York and Washington, D.C. in 3D. And now I'm designing a Boston one, and all the slides are going to be on the way. So
Awesome.
the first one finally arrived. Yay, we did it. So now you're curators. Thank
Yay.
you. And that's my show. Say bye to the world.
Bye.
world.